Alright, what's up everybody? It's Mikefreshhhh here along with a special guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Bigtree 33. Yes, sir.
And we're here to bring you new tips number 1 for UFC Undisputed 3. The first segment is going to be about basics on the striking. So here it is. Alright. Go ahead.
Alright, we're here. We're going to work on and show everyone the basic striking moves. So we're going to start off with the quick strikes. So basically, your basic strikes here are your X, Y, A, and B buttons, right? X and Y would be your punching moves, and the A and B buttons are your kicks, okay? So we'll start it off with the X. X is going to be your basic jab, all right? It sets everything up. It'd be perfect, you know? So you just hit X, and that's your basic jab. You got Y, it's going to be your right hand. You use these a lot for combos and to stop your opponents from their more powerful strikes, where we'll get into later. So right here, I'm going to just show you real quick a few different ways you can use the combinations. So that would be XXY, XXY, that's your double jab.
It's like a 1-1-2.
Yeah. And then you got your kicks, alright? So your kicks would be your A and B, alright? It's very simple. Then you can also kick to the leg, alright? By kicking to the leg, you would hold your left trigger down and your kick button.
Left trigger is pretty much, when you hold left trigger, all you're doing is, that's pretty much aiming low. For example, if you do kicks, A and B would be kicking low, or Y and X would be like a body punch.
Correct. Your left trigger is your body modifier if you want to go for the body. That's also another great place to go to when your opponent's usually guarding his head up top. Now, the great thing about this game too, if you keep kicking the guy in the leg and do enough damage, and if they're not checking the kicks or blocking them at all or avoiding them, you can in this game TKO your opponent. It takes a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of leg kicks to do it. But if you have the time and you're playing against an opponent who's not good at all, then you go for it and knock him out and embarrass him.
And also, for those who don't know, body shots actually work good for ruining your opponent's stamina. As you can see on the bottom, there's 2 green bars. That's pretty much their stamina bar. So body shots will decrease someone's stamina faster than a headshot will. And if your opponent has low stamina, he pretty much has no power in his punches, and he can't run away from you as easily as without.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you can actually, you can't really tell too much, but you can see right here, I'm going to throw a jab. If you look at that green bar, very little moves off. Now, watch when I go to the body.
Yeah.
A lot more is coming off of it. It's not much more, but there is a significant amount, and later in the fight, it proves to be a lot. Now we're gonna go on to the strong strikes. Basically, with that is it's not using your modifier. It's just using your left stick button, holding it towards your opponent. All right, not flicking or nothing. You hold it towards them, and you push any strike button you like. And that, as you see, is a lot more of a stronger punch. It takes off a lot more power. It's not just a jab like that would be by just tapping X, but holding your left stick towards your opponent and hitting X comes with a left hook or a right hook using Y. And the same thing goes for the A and B button. It's just a stronger kick towards the body. And also, as you see here, as we were saying, using the left triggers the body shot. It works the same way. So if you're gonna go attack the body and you're holding it, it takes off a lot more. Same with the leg kicks. I mean, I'm telling you, you work those leg kicks too, and it's just gonna do damage to your opponent using those strong moves. One thing about those strong moves too is the one thing you gotta be actually careful about using those strong moves is those quicker attacks. Because the quicker attacks will get in quicker, but then again, see, as you see, he's getting in quicker, and I can't. And then also by using those quicker attacks, he keeps me at a distance, so I can't really get a hold of him. I could maybe with my kicks, but you see, it's a lot harder. That's always good to use those quick strikes.
Also, with the quick strikes, you don't really have knockout power. You could daze an opponent, but if you want to knock out the opponent, you have to use either strong strikes or the modified strikes.
Yeah, and you can also you can also use those regular quick strikes and mix it with some strong strikes on some perfect combinations. So, for instance, I'll show you right here. I'm gonna use throw a couple jabs, right, and then I'll use a strong strike in there with it. So, as you see, and that look at that just knocked him down easy right there after that landing it. So you can always mix and vary your strong strikes with your quick strikes, and that's probably one of the best way to use your combinations to hurt your opponent, knock them down, or knock them out eventually. Now we're going to go on to my favorite part of the strikes are your Modifier Strikes. This all varies with your different fighters that you use. Certain ones have different types. Some people have spinning back fists. Some have a Superman punch. Some have spinning heel kicks. It all varies. Now I'm using Anthony Pettis here. The modifier here is your left bumper. All right, so you're gonna hold your left bumper, and I'm gonna use the kick one. You use A with Anthony Pettis, and you hold towards him. He does this little scissor kick to the head.
Yeah, like a crane kick by what's his name? The Karate Kid?
Yeah, the Machida.
The Machida kick?
The Machida kick. And it varies with different ones. So when I use B, he does a spinning heel kick. And as you see, that dazed him really quick. And now with the punching, you could just finish him off here. The attempt to. Now, he also has, you can use modifying punching as well, using your X and Y buttons. He dips low and comes up with a right hook. And these also are very powerful punches too. It takes a lot of energy too, so if you use that, you're going to get drained quick. So you can look on your stamina bar rather than here's a jab, that's nothing. But when I'm using the modifier now, you can see the difference. And basically those modifiers just work perfectly when you're setting up to knock your opponent out after setting them up perfectly. If you time them right, especially with a scissor kick like this or a spinning heel kick, that's definitely going to knock your opponent out. And in this game, they do have those flash knockouts. Now we're going to move on to the combos, which we were getting into earlier. You got your quick strike combos, and then you got your strong combos with your quick strikes.
And for combos, what you want to do for, like, say you're doing a punching combos, you really want to go left, right, left, right, left, right. You don't really want to do like left, 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 and then a throw right. It doesn't really make sense like that.
Right. Especially if you're going to do that, if you're playing against an experienced opponent, I guess you could say, they're going to be able to block you pretty easy if you're just throwing nothing but left hands, obviously, because they'll know what's coming. But it's always good to mix all your punches, kicks even. You always want to mix some kicks, and go for the body. That'd be perfect. You variate. See, come up top. And then you can even mix in the modifiers. The modifiers might be a little bit more difficult to some people, especially in the beginning, but it's a lot doable. What I normally like to do is, throw your basic quick strike combos. That sets them up. I usually like to back off, and then you use your modifier. And it's not so much a combo, but it's your combos that set up the time to basically kill your opponent, to hurt your opponent, and damage them really good. Alright, now we're going to go on to defense. Defense, I mean, obviously it's important. You don't want to get hit. Your defense buttons is the right bumper, and that's going to cover the top of your head. And then you got left trigger, which is going to cover guard your body.
Right trigger.
Right trigger, I'm sorry. So
it's pretty basic. I mean, it's only two buttons. Either right bumper for headshots, or right trigger for body shots. And there's also a technique called swaying. It's basically what you want to do is you want to hold your right bumper, and for example, you're blocking up top, so you want to quickly tap your left stick either back, forward, or up or down. Yeah. And notice how he kind of does like some swing, bobbing and weaving. So that's a little technique.
And that's perfect to do, especially when you want to counter someone.
Exactly.
If you can dodge a punch, you come up with that uppercut or anything, and that's going to, it takes a lot of damage from your opponent, it hurts your opponent a lot. And that's a lot of those flash knockdowns can come in handy perfectly when you're doing these strain defenses. And also, I always like, one of my favorite strays here is throw a punch. See, as you see, when you back up like that, I like to back up because this sets up a kick. But I usually like to come up with a powerful kick like that to the head. That's one of the best things. The kicks in the game is very good to use. It can damage your opponent a lot, and a lot of people don't expect those kicks.
And you gotta remember, you gotta do quick little jabs on the left stick. You don't want to do, you don't want to hold it because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, if you hold it, it's just gonna move them.
Yeah, so you want to do just little quick flicks of the left stick. And that does it for the basics of striking.